Hey traders, TG Watkins here. It is July 13th when I'm recording this, and this is going to be a market update webinar video that I want to produce for you guys. Basically, I'm seeing some very interesting things out there and wanted to show you guys about it. So I'm going to be calling this one a generational opportunity. We'll have to see how long this opportunity will last, because I am seeing many tickers that are at their all-time low, and I thought it was a good time to bring this up and kind of get you guys tuned in again and show you what I'm seeing out there. Remember, this is for educational purposes only, so let's just play nice out there. And then for anybody who has the Moxie indicator or who has been looking to get the Moxie indicator, that is the indicator that I've created and that I exclusively teach with. This is my bread and butter, and we get a lot of people who love it, so I wanted to let you know that it's been updated. This is we have now what are called the 15-minute power dots, and you can see it here. That's telling us basically it's like the squeeze of the Moxie indicator. It tells you when a big move is going to be happening, whether it's long or short. You can also scan for those power dots, and then for anybody who likes to day trade, we have put the Moxie price triggers on the actual 5-minute and 2-minute. We've made that toggleable so you can do that. We have made the install more streamlined. It hasn't changed anything to the underlying product originally. We just made it easier to set up and use, and we have it available on Thinkorswim, TradingView, and StockCharts.com. So you can get it wherever you like. All right, so part of the thing that I'm seeing out there is if we really kind of step back and we take a look at the overall market and what's going on out there, I don't see the bear. I don't see the bear anymore. Basically, we know that October 13th was when the market bottomed, and it keeps proving itself since then. If you look at the SPY, I like to look at this. We have price over the monthly 10. And we look at the NASDAQ, we have price over the monthly 10. Even the Dow, which maybe a couple weeks ago was looking pretty rough, just bounced off its monthly 10, and you can see every single candle body has stayed above the monthly 10. Even the semis, which took a break a few weeks ago, they were really kind of chopping around, and through here was definitely some uncertainty. And look what they did. They basically just flagged sideways into an uptrending monthly 10. Now, of course, anything can change in the future. We will have to see how things go. But as of right now and what I'm seeing out there, things are looking pretty good. They're either sideways or they're up. Now, let's go take a look. Let me then tell you, I do have a list of ticker ideas at the end, so stay tuned. You can also just fast forward because I know you guys are on YouTube with this, but yeah, I've got some ideas at the end. So the runt of the litter, basically the IWM. And I gotta say, this is the monthly and weekly time frames on, actually I think this is the daily, I get that mislabeled, so that's the daily. And what I was looking at in through here is right when this should have broken lower, it actually went higher. And I think that is a big deal. So I was looking at this in through here as price running into the underside of a downtrending daily 50. The Moxie indicator was below zero, and things were looking pretty rough, and it wanted to roll over. And you know what it did? It stopped going down and actually went higher. And the other thing it did, look here, we have the Moxie price trigger firing. We got a new, fresh Moxie price trigger signal on the daily, and you guys have clearly seen what the IWM has done. We're also seeing that a lot of the small caps are starting to wake up. There are a lot of names that are coming up off their lows, and I think that this is a big opportunity to be aware of what the market is doing. The other thing to notice is, yes, you can see here that we did have the IWM get over the monthly 10 at some point, just like the other ETFs I showed you, but it didn't hold, and you can see it actually did fail. Now, there are a lot of banking stocks in the IWM, so that was definitely going to be a contributor to that, but look at where we are now. We're back over, and it's been basing for a year, which is something I've also seen. A lot of stocks out there have been going flat for an entire year, and now we're starting to get them to come back up. So if the market isn't falling apart, I think money is going to be coming back in, and that's basically what we're seeing in through here. Let me also show you a couple of things. Okay, so we got the Moxie price triggers. How about this? You want to look at some trend lines? Here has been the downward trend line for the market, and then we broke out from that downward trend line, and then we came in and perfectly tested that. I have seen this in the SPY, the Dow, the semis, the NASDAQ got kind of close, and I'm seeing it throughout a lot of other individual stocks where they are breaking out of their downward channel and testing support, and they don't look back. So really for some fun, interesting stuff. You can even see a closer one right here where price got over that downtrending channel, tested it, and went back up and hasn't looked back. All right, also another little preface. So if you guys are watching this video, hopefully you've seen my other one that I put out. you should really go back and watch it. I'm telling you. So March 1st is when I made my first big market update coming out of this bear market thing. You know, I was just on the cutting edge of things that I was starting to see improve. And you guys should really go back and watch that. There's some real gems in there. And now that we are 3 months after this, a lot of that has come true. And we're actually starting to see good stuff. And it'll kind of help round out what I'm seeing with the market. If you guys go back and look at that, I'll link the link in the description below, but you can also see it here. All right, so this is a slide from, let's see, February 16th. So February 16th is when I took this slide. This was in my March 1st presentation. And you can see here, I labeled it. This was April 16th or February 16th. And I was saying, yeah, we're due for a pullback. Well, look here. You can see that was February 16th, and what happened? There was a pullback. So, you know, we're pretty much spot on with that. Now, the market right now is pretty frothy. We do have the FOMC tomorrow, so we'll have to see how things shake out after that. But we are getting the put-call ratio to get down pretty low again. So we might be in an area where, yes, things are feeling great, and I think the market is strong and coming alive, but don't be surprised if there are some pullbacks. But I do think those dips and pullbacks should be viable. But yeah, right on this, I wanted to come back and circle back, show you guys about this one. All right, so who am I? TG Watkins, Director of Stocks over at simplertrading.com. I'm sure most of you have, seen or heard anything about me, but if you haven't, just want to take a couple minutes and tell you a little bit about myself. You guys can also check me out on Twitter and Instagram. Got some fun stuff over there. So a little bit about me. My dad actually got me into trading. He took me to my first stock trading seminar when I was 12, and didn't know anything what was going on. But I remember asking one of the main traders there, and I said, "Is this really possible? I mean, is this stuff real? Can you really make money from this?" And he said, "Absolutely. No one was born knowing how to trade, so of course we can learn it. And if you can learn it, you can teach it." And so I figured, okay, I can learn how to do this, and here I am now teaching people how to do this. So yes, it's definitely possible. A little bit more about me. My interests shaped my trading style. I'm a pilot, so was my dad. In fact, my grandparents were pilots. And it's really instilled a lot of discipline in me. Because if you're reckless or don't follow your checklist, you can really kill your account. 2022, 2020, and 2021, pretty tough years after that whole pandemic boom. So you got to be careful out there. But yeah, these are the airplanes that we fly. My dad and I work on them. That's not my dad, it's our mechanic. But we had to put a second new engine in the Glass Air, and we just like to do work on it. Needed some basic maintenance and all that. And then up here in Washington, beautiful sunsets when the weather's great. We get to fly around. But yeah, you got to use a checklist, and that's what I provide in the Moxie Mastery, the trading room, basically. Just to kind of show you guys proof of the pudding. 2020 was a great year, so we decided to take some of those gains and profits and put them into things. I mean, this is what we do. This is the purpose of why we trade, is to do something with our winnings. And so this is what we did. We took the 1992 Glass Air and we updated it to all computer controls. Very nice, but I tell you, there's a lot of learning involved with these kind of things. My job as a trader and as a director of my trading room is it's my job to absorb all the stuff that it takes time to learn. Market information, economic reports, notable chart actions, and convey it all back to you guys in shortcut form for you as subscribers. So think of me as a coach, mentor, something along those lines. And then a little bit more proof. 2020 was a great year. Grew a $700,000 account to $5.5 million in just a few months. So yeah, that was great. And you know what? This is why I'm excited. I feel like we're starting to see that again. It's not quite as exciting as 2020, but we have been in this bear market for 2 years, and a lot of names have been repriced. I think that they are at their lows. We clearly have been seeing the indexes moving up, and I think that participation is starting to broaden out, and I'll show you my case coming up. But this is what I was able to do back then, and I think we're starting to see some good stuff nowadays too. Again, if you guys like what I talk about and how I trade, you can come into the Moxie Indicator Mastery, which is the trading room. If you like the Moxie Indicator, you can go get that. You can pick up any kind of classes that I teach, simplertrading.com/Moxie. So we're here to help. We have a $7 trial for 30 days. Come on in and check it out. All right, so here was kind of another one that I had from the previous presentation back in March. The screenshot on the left was the same. The one on the right is current, and this is the daily VIX. Do you guys see a similarity? Because I'm looking at this, and it looks awfully similar to me, to where I'm looking at this, I'm like, yeah, It looks very similar. Notice all this choppiness up through here, huge volatility, market coming down. Look at all this volatility. Yeah, that was the bear market. But then what happened in 2003 when the market started going up? Well, volatility just crushed, got underneath 20, and basically trended lower. Now, yes, there were definitely some bumps. There were bumps, big bumps. Those were big pullbacks. And the market didn't necessarily go straight up. That's kind of the biggest takeaway. There will be pullbacks. There will be periods of time where it gets a little bit rough. That's true. But overall, you can see the market was going up. And I kind of feel like we're in that situation. I mean, look at the VIX. It looks exactly like what we saw in 2003. So again, yes, there will be bumps. Okay, that means there will be tough spots with the market, but overall the VIX has completely changed its behavior, and I think that is a major indicator of what's going on with the markets. Another way to be looking at this is breadth, basically new highs, new lows, the cumulative, how we're doing with that. We have the SPX on the left. We are starting to see some good participation. In fact, was it like last Friday? That was a huge deal. That's finally when I think it was the debt ceiling crisis got put away. And we really haven't seen too many new lows pop up. I was a little concerned that this was staying elevated, but if this continues to just stay subdued, that's great. And then now look at the cumulative. We had been underneath this bit of a trend line for months, like 2 months, and we finally are breaking out. We can also see that over here with the NASDAQ, we have stocks over their 20, stocks over their 50-day, and stocks over their 200-day. And you can see it was all just a mess, coming down, coming down, coming down. And then what happened last Friday with the debt ceiling situation? Boom, boom, boom. So, things are looking pretty good. And we can look at this, basically that week, 6 days in a row, was the third best weekly reading in 61 weeks. So yes, breadth is looking good, participation is coming around, and things are waking up a bit out there. So yeah, looking pretty good. Another thing, kind of a contra indicator out there, I came across this a few weeks ago. I was like, ooh, okay. So notice how people are, you guys know the thing, that if too many people are on one side of the trade, it's likely to go the other direction. So if people are too bullish, you're going to be running out of steam to the upside because there's nobody left to buy. And if everybody is too bearish, well, that tends to burn them and they go the other way. And it sure looks to me like we are in just ultimate bear territory, and you could see that here. When things are just too bearish, I think that's where we are. And the fact that the market hasn't really rolled over and gone down 40 or 50%, we haven't had that huge crash. We've kind of actually just, corrected, and then we kind of started to come back up. It's been a weird market. It's been a little bit, it's been weird. And, everyone has been debating about this bull market and all this kind of stuff. But, man, you look at this as kind of a contraindicator. Boy, that sure says a lot to me. So, yeah, I would be watching this and looking for the market to continue to kind of move up just because there's almost too much bearishness. And another way to look at that, one side stacked, we have large speculators have very aggressive short positions. Look at this. It's like the shortest they've ever been compared to even back here. And just look what happens. Every time we get a low, that's the low. And we know this. We know this, that we trade this using the put-call ratio. And we just look at this. When you're too much on one side of the trade, the market likes to go the other direction. So we're seeing that, and just obviously way negative, and the market is not going down. So if it doesn't go down, don't fight it, and it might start going up in earnest. Another way to look at this, small spec. So we're looking at small traders, retail basically, and look how short they were. I mean, unbelievably short, thinking that we were going to fall off of a cliff and roll over and just absolutely implode. So there's a lot of fuel. You think about what a short squeeze is. There is a lot of fuel to this potential fire. And again, I think we are starting to really see things wake up and broaden out with this market. And so it's getting me kind of excited. I'm looking forward to it. All right, and then coming over here, you guys know the 4 phases. And if you don't, hey, this is a great learning opportunity. These are the 4 phases of a market: accumulation, advancing, distribution, declining. Well, man, if you guys have been in the market for even the last 3, maybe 4 years, you've seen all of it. All of it. And it has been a crazy time. So one of the ETFs I just like to show because, people kind of poke fun at it, but it shows all of it. So this is the ARK ETF on the monthly time frame. This is before the pandemic, just kind of putzing along, kind of doing its thing. And then the pandemic hit, and again, say whatever you will for it, but that was clearly accumulation. And then you look here, and man, that was advancing. Absolutely strong, strong, strong stuff going up like that. And then what happened? Well, the market topped, inflation was here, interest rates started going up, and everything just had to get repriced. There was your distribution, topping pattern, and then you can see there was your decline. And it's been a long 2 years. You know, we had a solid year from about here to here where prices were going down. That was fairly easy to trade. That was 2021, where the markets were really just going down. So you just short everything and it worked. And then what became challenging is we got into a lot of chop. We did start to see things kind of wake up again and start to move up, but not everything was participating. And you can really see that here, even through ARC on a monthly time frame. Prices generally stopped going down, but look, they basically went sideways. So sideways, 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 chop, chop, chop. What does that look like? Right here. Looks like accumulation right here as far as one of the phases. And the other thing to note is here, if you look at this, you know, as one of the things they talk about it, 200 moving average is flattening. Well, the 200 MA for the daily chart is about the same as the 10 SMA on the monthly chart, which is what I have here as the blue line. And notice what's happening. It's going flat. What's the next thing that happens? It starts to go up. And the same thing in the accumulation. Look here, price above the 200, which is the same as price above the monthly 10. What do we got? We now have price over the monthly 10. And we are starting to see a lot of stocks do this. Now, I can't say that every stock is going to be amazing and that they're going to, you know, go straight up or all this kind of stuff. I think we're going to be in a slower environment, but we are starting to see some strength come back. The stocks have stopped going down, and I think money is starting to come back into these areas. So, yeah, 4 phases. Look at that. Perfect 4-phase figure. And then we can look at this, another one, just QQQJ. This is another one that I thought was pretty broad as far as the number of stocks that were in it and kind of stocks. And it's just another view. It's just another way to look at this and see what's going on. Basically, they stop going down, and you can see now prices over these moving averages. Now, again, it's been a little tough over the last year because they haven't really gone anywhere. You know, that's kind of the issue. But if we look, even in through here, they're really starting to catch some support, and they're starting to move up. And if you look even at the weekly chart, we've got an inverse head and shoulders. The Moxie price trigger on the weekly chart is just about to fire. We're seeing a lot of that happen. And we get our price not only past the weekly 50, they're starting to use the weekly 50 as support. We are starting to see these things come out of long-term bases, year-long base, and actually start to move up. So, you know, things are looking pretty good. And if we can get some stuff situated over the summer to where then, you know, the best portion of the trading year, basically the school year, is coming up, we could be well positioned for some good stuff going forward. And, you know, I'm excited. I'm looking forward to, you know, guiding the Moxie subscribers and anybody else in the room and telling them, like, look, I think things are looking pretty good and we should get back at this in an earnest way. So, yeah, if you guys are interested, come on out, check out the Moxie room and, you know, have a good time. So here you go. Lots of great monthly charts. Take it all in. You guys can kind of see what I'm looking at in through here. They are all monthly charts. That's the monthly 10. You can see just a variety of names. And what are we noticing? You know, there were more names doing this than I could even pick. I just wanted to put one page just to show you guys examples. But what are we seeing? You know, what are we seeing with all these names? They are engaging with their higher time moving averages, and they're starting to work. And if it's not even that, a lot of names have just stopped going down. Stop going down. You know, that's something to pay attention to. These names have stopped going down. So again, not everything is going to participate. Not everything is going to be great. But boy, you know, there are a lot of things to choose from. You only need a handful of good trades to really make a good month or a good year. And I think that's kind of what we're starting to see out there. So yeah, things are looking okay. Also, so if you guys stayed to the end, great. We have a coupon code. You can catch one of my other classes that I made, Actionable Setup. That's one of our micro classes. And as I said, Actionable Setup. This is really telling you how to pinpoint trades and how to pinpoint setups using the indicators that I use. You guys can go check it out, simplertrading.com. And then the coupon code is Moxie. If you have any questions, just reach out to our customer service and ask them about this, and we'll get you there. But remember, it's only good for about half this month. It's the 13th right now. It expires on the 30th, so come on in and go grab it. All right, guys. Thanks again. Hope you enjoyed that, and we'll see you in the Moxie trading room. See you soon. Hey, TG here with Simpler Trading. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to leave a like or comment below. Also, make sure to subscribe and click that notification bell so you can stay up to date with my market analysis. Or you can join my free newsletter with the link in the description. Good trading, and I'll see you at the next video.